Indiana basketball's road struggles continued in a 66-57 loss to Rutgers. I'm Drew Rosenberg. That's Kyler Staley. This is the Hoosier Illustrated Postgame Wrap-Up. And it was kind of some of the same recurring issues for this Indiana basketball team. I'm going to start with the turnovers. 18 turnovers in the loss after one of the better performances of the season against Ohio State, where the Hoosiers only had 3 turnovers. It was weird. Went right back to the Nebraska game. In that game, they had 19, 18 tonight. Kyler, what did you kind of see there?
I mean, it's a reoccurring issue. So I'm going to give a reoccurring answer. It's just sloppiness, and it's not being disciplined, and yeah, it's being careless. I mean, there's a lot of bad words you can say with this right now, but turnovers on the road. I don't care who you're playing. Going into this game, Rutgers was probably, I think you can make a case as probably the worst Big Ten team in the conference. I mean, it doesn't matter who you're playing. If you have turnovers like that, you're not going to win games. It's just plain and simple. And the fact is that you've got like Xavier Johnson and Trey Galloway, and I'm going to be pretty hard on those guys. They are seniors. They are the primary ball handlers of this team. And the sloppiness that I see and the inconsistency and just the immatureness with the ball, especially with Xavier Johnson this game, it's just unacceptable. It really is. You can't have that. And I made a tweet there. I don't know what it was, but or when it was in the game, but I made a comment and I said there was a sequence where Xavier Johnson just looked pathetic out there. It really was just careless, bad passes. It's trying to do too much with the ball, and not trusting your teammates at the end of the day. I mean, it's pretty obvious. So that's not good. I mean, turnovers, that's an issue that's got to get fixed. On the road, I mean, they could be good at home with the turnovers. They've proven to be good, having few turnovers at home. But on the road, if you want to win road games and you want to build conference wins, you got to take care of the ball.
Yeah, I mean, we've kind of talked about it. This is a young team, but you look at the backcourt and it's an experienced backcourt, and we keep talking about it over and over again. Turnovers. It feels like every single road game, every single loss, it's the same thing. They struggle to take care of the basketball, and it can't continue, especially if this team wants to accomplish anything. And I know they have some high goals for this season, and the way it's looking, the performance I saw tonight, it wasn't even. They didn't look like an NCAA tournament team.
No, not at all. You make a good point. We like to use the term young for this team. I got a couple things there. One, you look at the backcourt, like you said, they have an experienced backcourt. That should help out a ton there. If you got an experienced backcourt and you got a young team, a young roster around there, they should be able to, be leaders and get them to the right spots and, direct them into the right roles and things like that. That backcourt doesn't do that. That just doesn't do it at all. Trey Galloway's leadership has honestly been really poor this year. And that's really, it's hard to see because you expected a lot of him as far as a leadership role. Now, nobody expected Trey Galloway to be the primary guy on this team. He was going to stick to his role, but just as far as leadership, it's just really concerning and really disappointing with him with that. And then going back to the term young team, this is not a young team anymore. They've got plenty of experience right now. They're in the Big Ten right now, and they've won Big Ten games. So they know what it takes to win games in the Big Ten. They know what it takes to win Big Ten games on the road. I mean, they did that at Michigan, and that's just a thing in the past right now. No one's even looking at that. It's time for this team to grow up. It really is. You got to play better. You got to make smarter decisions. It's really hard to watch. It's hard basketball to watch right now with this team. So because it's just so up and down. So, but I think it starts with the backcourt. You got to be better. Just plain and simple.
Yeah, and another big issue, I guess, this is more about mental than anything. Free throw shooting, 4 for 15 at the line in a game you lose by 9 points. Yeah, you're not expecting them to go 100% the free throw line, but 4 for 15, that's unacceptable. You have guys like Khalil Ware, 2 for 6, Mackenzie Mbako, who coming into this game had only missed 1 free throw on the year, 2 for 5. Renew, 0 for 2. Trey Galloway, 0 for 2. Those type of performances, it's a free throw line where it's supposed to be free, just can't keep happening.
Yeah, I mean it's mental. There's not a whole lot more that you can even say about it. It's mental. It's mental toughness. Every single one of these mistakes that Indiana has, the turnovers, the free throws, it's just all mental. That's what it is at the end of the day, and they just not have been able to get that out of their head. Free throws, like you mentioned, 4-15. That's not going to win you a game on the road. There's a lot of things that they did tonight not going to win you a game on the road. You look at it, even if they would have hit, you do the math there, it didn't even have to be a very good percentage. It would have kept them in the game. Just many, many opportunities. And I think what it was in the second half around 11, 12 mark or whatever, they were already in the bonus. So they had the opportunity there. Rutgers is a very physical team. They were very physical tonight. Very defensive heavy team. Their offense is not good at all, but Indiana's defense was even worse. So that's really what it comes down to a lot of this game as well. So they had chances at the line. They just didn't take it. They're not focusing enough. Pretty lackadaisical in that area, in my opinion. So it's got to be fixed. I mean, there's not much more you can say with that either.
Yeah, I feel like we keep talking about the same things over and over, and it's going to bring me to my next point. It's the rebounding. Indiana lost the rebounding battle 51-40, allowed 19 offensive rebounds, really outside of Khalil Ware and Malik Reneau and Mbako. Just struggled to rebound. Khalil Ware, 17 rebounds, Reneau 6, Mbako 5. But it's the guards. Trey Galloway, only 2 rebounds. Xavier Johnson, only 1. It seems like we've said it so many times. You can't win the rebounding battle when you guys have guys leaking out consistently and you're trying to win 3-on-5. You need 5 guys crashing the glass. This team has all the tools, all the length, all the size and athleticism to be a great rebounding team. And consistently, even back to the mid-major games when they're playing Florida Gulf Coast, Army, they've been getting dominated on the glass, and it's unacceptable for a team that has this much size at this level.
Yeah, it's toughness. That's what it is. And I mean, and it's laziness. That's really what it is. If you're a wing, you know what? And I will say Mbako has been, attempting to rebound a lot better this year. So I'll put the front court, Mbako, Caleb Banks, Peyton Smarks, and Anthony Walker. This is not a knock to them. It is to the guards and everybody else on that team. The fact that they're just standing there and they're watching that happen, that's a poor teammate right there, in my opinion. It really is. I don't know what's going on through their head. I don't know if they're thinking, oh, I need to get back on the defensive end just in case, which that could be the case, and it could be a fair statement. But at the same time, you got to show some toughness, and you got to go rebound. Rutgers, they did have some size. They were not bigger than Indiana. They were about the equal size, I would say, when you look from roster to roster. Ohio State, yeah, they were bigger than Indiana. So, yeah, I wouldn't say they're 22 rebounds better than Indiana, but they were probably the better rebounding team. Tonight shouldn't have been the case. It's just all about effort. And you do feel kind of bad for Khalil Ware at times because he is the only one fighting for rebounds, and he's not physically strong enough to, take the ball away from 2 Rutgers defenders and stuff like that. Malik Reneau, he's trying his best out there, but there's multiple things, obviously, with this Indiana team moving forward. And we can circle in everything that we always talk about. Turnovers, free throws, rebounding. Everything else will fall in line. Just all about mental toughness. It's all about getting it out of your head and just playing ball and then just being the tougher team at the end of the day. If they can figure that out, they could be a pretty good team and they could win a lot of big games. But until that's fixed, they're going to lose to teams like Rutgers. And this is honestly the worst loss of the year for Indiana. We'll see how it plays out. They're trying to build an NCAA tournament resume. The good thing is, whether you believe it or not, there's still a lot of season left. So there's a lot of time for Indiana to correct this. But it's got to start sooner than later, and it starts on Friday. Honestly, they really need to take care of business when it comes to Minnesota, who's proven to be a pretty tough team this year.
Yeah, you mentioned it. Luckily for the Hoosiers, they're back at home where they've been extremely successful. I believe 9-1 in the season at home. Their only loss coming to Kansas. Friday, 7 p.m. at Assembly Hall. For Hoosier Illustrated, I'm Drew Rosenberg. That's Kyler Staley. This is the Hoosier Illustrated Postgame Wrap-Up. As always, check out Indiana_FRN on Twitter, Facebook, and make sure you're subscribed on YouTube to Hoosier Illustrated and on Spotify. Thanks for listening and watching.